again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, or from Australia, I thank you very much for your contributions on the channel. Continue to follow me on. I will continue to do my best to give you information on things that are going on in that very contraption called Nigeria. It is not easy. We have a lot of challenges. That is why we have taken it upon ourselves to tell our stories. Do not allow people to tell your story. You can equally use your own platform wherever you belong. Use your platform to speak up about the situation of that contraption called Nigeria. A lot of the indigenous tribes in that very contraption are suffering. The Oduduwa people are facing a lot of challenges as we speak. The contraption called Nigeria is trying to take lives in the land of Oduduwa. The same thing they are doing in the Biafran land as we speak. A lot of people are losing their life. Genocide is happening once again in Igbo land. A lot of Biafrans are losing their life. The second time again, this time again, the federal government is coming upon the southeastern part of Nigeria, bombarding them from all angles, going to house of innocent people to take them out, burning the houses of people unnecessarily, claiming that they are members of IPOB, that they are members of ESN. Being a member of IPOB is not a crime. IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra, people who are asking for their self-determination. Peacefully, they have been doing this, holding only their flag. They have been calling for self-determination. They have not killed anybody. Nobody on record that can say that the IPOB members killed him. They have not taken any life. They have not taken any life. It doesn't matter where the person comes from. They have never. Until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the ESN and gave his ESN instruction to be in the bushes and fight against the invaders. And the ESN has been doing their due diligence in the bushes, fighting against the terrorists alone, not against the innocent masses. ESN, it has never been a record that ESN came to the street and began to fight people. It has never been a record that ESN killed any innocent person. It doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter your religion. ESN is not after anybody except the terrorists who are coming to occupy the land. The Fulani terrorists who are coming with AK-47 to kill our parents, to stop our people from farming. Those are the people the ESN are going after. But unfortunately, the government said we cannot protect ourselves. The government that have refused to protect the indigenous people of Biafra have said we cannot protect ourselves. They have sent their terrorist military. They send their terrorist military. The Boko Haram that they have infiltrated into their military, they have sent them to the southeastern part of Nigeria to join hands with the terrorists to fight against us. As we speak now, they are bombing the southeastern part of Nigeria from all angles. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to protect the ESN. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what they do. As long as Chukwu Abiyama has spoken that we will be free, we must surely be free. They cannot put us down. No matter how they try, they can't put us down. They can't put us down. They have been trying from all angles, trying to put us down. You can see them making all sorts of, even in the pressure they are putting on the southeastern part of Nigeria, yet they are restless. They are restless because our freedom is near. They have tried every means possible to put division in the southeastern part of Nigeria. They create division, try to create division in the southern part of Nigeria. Initially, they created a strong division between us and our Yoruba brothers. But thank God today, through the help of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we have been united back together with the Yorubas. The Biafrans and the Oduduwas are now speaking on one voice. The Biafrans and the Oduduwas are now fighting on one front. They are restless. They don't know what to do. They have gone also to the southeastern part of Nigeria, to the Niger Delta and the South. They are poisoning their mind through their elites and their governors, trying to turn them against the southeastern part of Nigeria, but it's not going to work. They try to turn our brothers against us. People who have the same culture. The southeastern part of Nigeria, the whole southeastern part of Nigeria, could include Niger Delta, South, or whatever. They are one people with one culture, with one ideology. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. That is why we do not agree with any creation of state. Because any creation of state they are bringing up is to divide us. That is the only reason why they are bringing the creation of state. To divide us and make sure they split us. They only try to give us a political identity. A political identity that doesn't have anything to offer the citizens of that very area. People who are called Niger Delta today are suffering worse than any other section. This is a place where the wealth of that country comes from. Yet, if you go to Niger Delta, you still see people who do not have light. You see people living on water. You see people who are helpless. You see people who cannot have their 3 square meal in Niger Delta. So, why are you answering Niger Delta? Why have you embraced the political division that they gave to you? They divided us and gave some people South. The South they gave you was just to separate you from your brothers and make sure we do not have a united front to fight. We do not have a united front to present our problems. It is not going to help anybody. People who will recall South, what help have the South brought to you? Every allocation that they are giving to South, what have the governors used to do to what have how have that developed that very area called South? What development has South brought? Every time they create their state in the north, even states that are not viable in the north. They create states that are not viable only to take the wealth from the southern part of Nigeria to go and begin to manage their states. States they cannot be able to create wealth. And you see them every now and again coming out to talk. And some of us fall for that their tricks. Some of us fall for their trick. I see no reason why somebody who is thinking normally should be listening to anybody who calls himself a politician in that very country called Nigeria now. You don't have to listen to any politician because they are not there for you. The senators are not there for you. They are not speaking your voice. Because as we speak, we know that the southern part of Nigeria are now asking for a referendum. That is the only voice that people are hearing. No matter how they try to cover it through their media and cover to put it down, when you go on the ground, you see that everybody in the southern part of Nigeria is asking for a referendum. Why is the senators not pushing for this referendum? Why are the governors not pushing for this referendum? Because of their selfish interest. Because of what they intend to gain. They are now telling us about creation of states. Creation of states that have not done anything good except division. Except division. Any political name they are giving us is for division. It doesn't add anything good to us. It doesn't add any good to us. It doesn't have anything good to offer to the people of this very area. Each time you hear them talk, each time you hear them speak, they are not speaking for your own benefit. Neither are they speaking for my own benefit. They are speaking for their selfish interest. Trying to create division as much as they can at every given time. They divide us from our tribe. You are creating states. Then you created a state and made an Igbo-speaking person a northerner. How does that sound to a normal human being? How can a reasonable person call an Igbo person a northerner? You carved an Igbo state to Igbo people to a northern state. How does that suit? How does it sound? How does it sound? And people are taking this. It is not only just on this side. Look at in Kogi State. Somebody from Kogi State, a TV man is being carved away from Kogi State, from Benue State. Instead of putting a TV man in Benue State, you carry him out to Taraba to go there and face intimidation, to go there and face problems, to go there and face all kind of humiliation. When an Igbo man is carved to the north, what do you think he will be doing there? He will be humiliated. The side will not be developed. Go to the side of the Igbos that are being carved to the north. See how they are. That is to show you whatever creation they are doing, whatever state they are creating is not for the benefit of the citizens of that very country. It is for their own selfish interest. To create more avenue for them to claim whatever they want to claim. Claim more security votes and will never secure anybody. Claim money and they will never invest it on the people. This is only way to think they are creating to make sure that we do not have a voice. But we cannot agree. We will continue to speak. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the way they carry it. We will continue to voice our opinion. Say it the way it is. We will continue to say it the way it is. All their lies, we will continue to debunk all their lies. You see them when they come out to make proud of themselves what they can do and what they cannot do. But at the end of the day, you see, when the Northerners are coming out, some of the Northern group are coming out and say that they are now ready. A Northern group I heard that they say that they are now ready for separation. They are now ready for being a different country. If you are not ready, what are you waiting for?
That part away from South Korea, or rather from Korea, breaking to South and North Korea, to the Western and Eastern Germany, to common here, Cameroon, that you have the English and the French part that are trying to go away. You know what is going on. So for anybody to be calling for war, or you think you can just separate, it's not easy. I believe in Nigeria. I believe Nigeria will continue to exist. Whether we like it or not, there is a problem. We need to discuss the problem. We are disagreeing with ourselves, and we have every reason to disagree. The North, before now, is saying we don't believe in separation. But as I'm standing, I'm telling you that if there's going to be separation tomorrow, the North is ready for it. We are also ready. Let's go our either ways. And I'm telling you this with all sincerity. Northern Nigeria before now do not want to hear anything separation. But as at today, as I speak to you, the North is equally ready to leave. That is number one. Number two, talking about presidency. What I'm going to say might be controversial. You might disagree with it, but it's the absolute reality, and I'm speaking the mind of Northerners. And I have no apology to anybody in this hall on what I'm going to say, though I respect the leaders, elders, and fathers that are here. I duly respect them. But I have no apology to anybody on what I'm going to say. Let's please be serious. We are here for a serious business. Let us not make it a discussion floor if we truly want to do this. Now, talking about rotational presidency, what I thought we should be looking at is credibility, competency, patriotism, nationalistic thinking, the love for one another, and things like that. That what I thought should constitute who becomes Nigeria's president. Not regional, tribal, ethnical, or any other thing. Please disagree with me, but I will speak. This is why we are here. This is why we are here. Good. Let us discuss the controversy and let us find a solution to the problem.
Please allow him. Please allow him. Somebody has his opinion. You have your opinion.
This is why we are here. If you disagree with me, come up and give your position. This is my position. This is the position of Northern Nigeria. So if you disagree, make your position known. Now, let us look at competency, credibility, patriotism, the love for the country to move Nigeria forward. Yes, we should create, there should be a room for discussion. Call it national conference, call it restructuring, call it whatever. I agree that we should come to a round table and discuss Nigeria and discuss the way forward for Nigeria. I agree that we are disagreeing. I agree that there's a problem. I agree that there is, if you like, call it lopsided appointment. I am not in government, so I don't speak for the government. I speak for North. I don't speak for Buhari. If Buhari is doing something wrong, Nigeria should call his attention that what he's doing is wrong. He should correct it. He's a Nigerian. He's a leader. He's elected by every Nigerian. But not a particular tribe or region be seen as a threat to a country. If one region or tribe or religion is a threat to this country, then all of us are threatening Nigeria, and we are all threat to Nigeria. Then let us come and discuss the problem, find the solution to the problem, and let's move forward as Nigeria.
Tell your senators who are in the Senate to move this referendum and let everybody go their separate ways. Since you claim you are ready, the South has been ready for a very long time. South have been ready for a very long time, rallying around, sensitizing people that it is better for people to be on their ways and secure their place. That's the only way we can be safe. That's the only way we can have safety. If every region go back to their region, they can be able to protect themselves and protect their land. But every time you see them bringing this propaganda, they try to bring a propaganda against the Igbo man, talking about Igbo property. Each time an Igbo man talks about his independence, or talks about his self-determination, or talks about his freedom, talks about referendum, you see them talking about Igbo property, showing you that they are just envious about the success of an Igbo man. They are envious. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. They can't handle the success of an Igbo man. It's scaring them to hell. They threaten us with our properties. They threaten the Southerners with the properties what they have all over the country. Who stopped you from having a property? Is it a crime to own a property in other places? Legitimate property that was bought, not stolen. Some of your politicians and some of your elites have houses all over the world. Some of them have houses in the United States, have houses in Dubai, have houses in UK. Nobody's telling them about, nobody's threatening them of taking their property. Nobody's threatening them with the property they have over there. Some of you are doing international business. Nobody's disturbing them. Only in Nigeria will you see people who call themselves one Nigeria, threaten a certain group of their property. So because I don't want to be in Nigeria, I do no longer have a right to own a property in other countries. Simply because I want to have my own home and protect my own home. If I come to your own land and own something legitimately, I don't have a right to it anymore. But that threat will not work anymore. It has been a propaganda has been going on for a very long time. But this time, it cannot work. That threat cannot work anymore. It cannot work anymore. The Biafrans are very much ready to go. Likewise, the Oduduwa. We are all ready to go. We are not ready for all these your political demarcations. All the political creation you're making us to deny our origin, making us to deny our real tribe. You see an Igbo man getting confused. He doesn't know where he belongs. An Igbo man from Delta State will be calling himself Delta Igbo. What do you mean by Delta Igbo? Instead of identifying yourself as an Igbo person, what tribe are you? You are either you are Igbo or you're not Igbo. But you see them attaching that political identity, Delta Igbo. Igbos are one tribe. Ijos are one tribe. All the other tribes there, they are one. But these people are brothers in that very area with the same ideology and the same identity. But these people have come to divide us, to make sure that we do not function effectively. And some of us are letting them go with it. Why don't you have patience? Why don't you have patience and work with your brothers? Work with your brothers in the southeastern region, old southeastern region. After we must have gotten this victory back home, then each tribe can have their own nation. Each tribe can have their own nation. We write a constitution that is going to favor everybody. Nobody is going to dominate anybody, and nobody is a minority in the southeastern part of Nigeria. There is no minority. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it time without number that there is no minority in the southeastern region. No minority. We are all equal with equal rights. This is one family. We are one family with one ideology. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter the kind of tongue you speak. We are one people. The same blood flowing in our veins. Why are we fighting ourselves? Why can't we come back, get this victory back? We only have a single enemy in that very contraption called Nigeria, which is the Fulani Janjaweed, who want to dip their Quran into the ocean. And we said no to that. If you are sincere to yourself and you know that we have a single enemy and we are fighting for one thing, why don't you come back home, embrace your brother, and let us fight for this very independent, fight for this very independent, bring it back home. We bring it back home. Then, if we want to stay on our own, we can stay on our own. But the only thing we have to do now is to unite together. It doesn't matter what you speak. You be a Joy, you are the tribe, you are Calabar, wherever you be, you are Efik, wherever you are. Let us unite ourselves as people from the southeastern region. This is the thing that unites us, Biafra. Biafra is the only thing that holds us together. Let us go with this Biafra, bring back that victory, bring that victory. When you bring the victory back home, then we can now be a nation on our own and function effectively. Why do we continue this division and allow illiterates to be ruling us? We allow people who want to kill us to be taking over us. We listen to our enemies, knowing fully well that these enemies know us more than we know ourselves. They know us as one. That is the most painful thing. They know us as one. These people know that we are one people. But those of us who are from the southeastern part of Nigeria seem not to recognize that. Even these people know that the Southerners as a whole are one people. They know that the Southerners have the same culture. They have the same ideology. But it's a pity. You still see some people in this, some Southerners who are rejecting their own. They reject their own people. Instead, they are playing the tone of the Janjaweed because of their selfish interests. Because of their selfish interests. And you think you can get away with it. It is no longer time to sit in the fence. It doesn't matter if you speak or you don't speak. When the fire comes, it's going to consume you. It's going to consume you. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was speaking, he said it that all those who are supporting this Janjaweed will pay with their life. Sometimes when he speaks, you think he's going to come to kill you. But those people you are supporting will turn back to kill you and take your life. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you pretend. It is time for us to begin to speak up. Use your platform wherever you belong. Use your platform to speak up. Speak up. It is no longer time to be silent. They have come. And as we speak, they are killing people in the southeastern part of Nigeria, taking life. We cannot let them go, and we will never give up. It doesn't matter how many they kill. It doesn't matter what they do. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has told us, they will kill us, we will kill them. At the end, Biafra will come. And Biafra is here. Biafra is here already. Oduduwa is living. Thank God for the unity of Oduduwa and Biafra. Thank God for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is leading effectively and making us to see the light. Thank God for Sunday Igboho. Thank God for Biafra. Thank God for Oduduwa. Thank God for Middle Belton. Thank God for all those who are seeking peace and seeking for freedom in that very construction called Nigeria. May Chukwu Oke Abiyama continue to guide and protect all of us and give us the light, give us the life for us to see the victory that we are looking forward to. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, blessed. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell so you're notified on the next video. Thank you, and remember, blessed. Bye-bye. Share with your neighbor.